Well, good morning again, everybody. So I want to talk to you a little bit more about labels. I realized yesterday that I hadn't finished all that I wanted to say, and because I'm a verbal processor, these type of videos can get really long, and so I just kind of wanted to end it and maybe do a part two. So being taught in Christianity for almost 30 years and being taught with the Bible and being taught with church and all of these things, there's this kind of sensing that all of humanity comes under the original sin label. And that means everybody's got sin in them from the time that they're born, and they're just going to kind of have to work that sin out as they kind of go through life, and God can forgive them of sins, and they can forgive themselves of sins, and others can forgive their sins, and there's just this almost feeling of you're damned if you do and damned if you don't with the original sin nature concept. But the more I study about the creation story, and the more I look at it from the Bible standpoint, or I look at it even from other religions and what they believe regarding creation, God said when Adam and Eve were made that they were very good, because they were made in the image and the likeness of the divine, God, the source, whatever you would like to call God. They were created very good. And what if the original label that God really has on all of mankind is very good versus original sin nature? So I began to think about this. I began to think, okay, if I see myself from a very good standpoint, if I see my spirit, my soul, my body from a very good standpoint, that changes everything. It has the potential really to remove layers of shame and fear and self-doubt and insecurity and feelings of inferiority and worthlessness if we know that we are very good. But for me, who took the label of original sin and sinner for most of my time understanding Christianity, it just kept setting me up. It was almost like a prophecy for doom and gloom. The more I focused on what I was doing wrong, or how I could be offending God because of my lifestyle, or because of my humanity, or my very flesh and blood, that just set me up every day for layers and layers of shame to come. I lived with a lot of lies about who I was and who I am, and when you've got lies going on in your brain and you think that no matter what you do, you are doomed always to have a sin component in your life, and it's terrible, then every decision that you make after that kind of leads you on that path. I mean, we attract what we focus on, right? If I believe that I'm very good, then my life will lead itself in relationships and in different areas and scenarios in my life will lead to places of goodness. But if I believe that I am constantly made with original sin, and that there is something that is flawed in me, something that is imperfect in me, then I actually will live very imperfect and live from a mindset of flawed. So I guess what I'm saying by this is, I think we need to follow God's example where He says that man is made in His image, and if God is good, then so are we. And I think we're so afraid of saying that we're good. I don't know if it's this false sense of humility that we need to have, that if we say our humanity is amazing and Ellen is great, and Joanne over here is great, and Bob's amazing. If we use these terms, there's almost this kind of feeling of well, you're not including God and all that. But I think honestly that it's very demeaning to constantly look at our flaws and constantly look at our imperfections and make them our identity, instead of being made in God's image, being made with goodness. This is good to God, Who I am is good to God. When God looks at the whole of humanity, he is going, they are very good. And he's not rating them and, measuring society and being like, oh my gosh, they're all like sinners and they're wicked. No, God is looking at humanity saying, I made them in my image and I am good. And yeah, I could probably go on and on and on here, but I don't know, it's just some thoughts I'm thinking. Maybe you can flip that label of original sin around and look at the fact that maybe it's all about original goodness. And religion has trapped us and lied to us all these years to believe that we are so despicable, we are so we're like an abomination unto God, and therefore we are separated from him. Maybe we need to just re-look at that whole thing and say, you know what? We've never been separated. We are made in his image. The very mark of God is in every human being. Looking in the face of a human, like Mother Teresa said she saw God in the eyes of people and their faces. That's powerful. Instead of wandering around going, oh, there's a sinner. Oh, I'm full of sin. This is who I am. I'm flawed. I'm completely imperfect. And therefore, that makes me who I am. And you know what? Seeing myself as very good and the original goodness idea has actually helped me to kind of take my flaws and be gentler with myself. Kind of more forgiving. Not kind of heaping shame and guilt and condemnation on me, but just realizing it's a part of who I am, but it doesn't take away from this awesome, very good person that God has created in his image. All right, everyone, have a good day.